Hi y'all, welcome to my channel, BK Roll TV. Today we will be continuing on the Build the U.S.S. Enterprise D series by DeAgostini Japan. This is for Pack 27, stages 103 to 106. Welcome back everyone. So today we will be continuing on the Build the U.S.S. Enterprise D series for Pack 27, stages 103 through 106 by DeAgostini Japan. So as you can see, we have the magazine for Pack 27 with a nice front view of the Enterprise D model here. And then also all the parts and components for Pack 27 as well. So as usual, we'll first take a look at the contents of the magazine before we get started on the build. So here we have the magazine for Pack 27, so we'll skip over to the contents side of things. So the first episode in the episode guide, the first one is for Season 6, Episode 8, A Fistful of Datas. This is where I think there's several copies of Datas in the holodeck, I think after a malfunction. And you can see some behind the scenes photos and some sketches there. And next one is episode 9, The Quality of Life. This is the episode of the exocomp, and I think Data tries to display that the exocomp has some intelligence in there as well. And you can see some of the inside of the exocomp as well. And then moving on, episode 10, which is a Chain of Command part 1 with Captain Edward Jellicoe, played by Ronnie Cox. It's part of the two-part episode. I did like the episode overall. I think, and also where Captain Picard gets captured by Cardassians and undergoes interrogation, which is the next part, which is episode 11, Chain of Command part 2. Then you got some behind the scenes photo there of the interrogation by the Cardassians. If you zoom in, so you can see that photo there as well. You zoom back out just a little bit. Then moving on, episode 12 is The Ship and the Bottle. And then Daniel Davis plays Professor Moriarty as well. I think he came back for the Star Trek Picard series as well. I think if you've seen that. Interesting character. And also Lieutenant Barclay also stars in this episode as well. And then the next episode is episode 13, Aquiel. I think this is where the alien life form takes over the dog and kills the scientists on board the I think the Starbase. And then the last one is the Face of the Enemy, episode 14. This is where Counselor Troy goes undercover as a Romulan for the Telsiar in order to smuggle, if you could say smuggle, some Romulan dissidents. And you can see some behind the scenes photo of Marina Sirtis putting on the makeup as a Romulan there. But yeah, that is it for the contents of the magazine. So now let's get started on the build. So in stage 103, we'll be assembling another piece of the deck panel and attaching that to the south section and working on adding some pieces and screw covers to cover up the holes for the bow sections. So let's get started. So first off, we will be adding the escape pod hatches to this deck panel here. I think this part here is the impulse engine for the south section. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get the escape pod hatches installed onto this metal deck panel. So we'll be right back. So as you can see, we now have all the escape pod hatches installed onto the metal deck panel piece. So next what we'll be doing is we'll be installing the escape pod cover bracket, which is this black plastic piece. This will obviously go in sit only in one direction. The notch side for the last screw area is be on the right side, and then we'll secure the bracket into place with 2 AM screws. So let's get that screwed in. So as you can see, we now have the bracket in place, and we have this deck panel built up. So next we'll be attaching this onto the sausage section. So let's get our sausage section here. So as you can see, we have our sausage section right here, and then this deck panel that we just built is gonna sit right here at the edge, right where the impulse engine for the sausage section is. So as you can see, we have the deck panel piece nice and fitted. So we'll be securing that into place with 2 DP screws on the edge, and then 1 FM screw right where the escape pod hatch is gonna be. So let's get the DP screw screwed in first. And then next we will put in 1 FM screw right there in the center, or on the center left. Just like that. And then next we'll put in the escape pod cover over the screw hole there. So let's get that one put in just like that, and then we are done with the sausage section, at least for this stage. So we'll set that aside and bring over the battle section. So as you can see, if we zoom out just a little bit, we have our battle section right here. So next we will be taking the cargo loading door, which is this plastic piece here, and then we'll be sitting that right here on the semi circled area to cover up the screw holes. Just like that. Then next we will be taking the screw covers, which is this gray plastic circular piece, and then we'll be putting that over the screw holes on the edge near the main deflector right here. So let's get that one covered up just like that. And then next we will be adding the screw covers, which has the where the escape pod covers should go, which is gonna be right over this area here. It's going to be seated in just like that. And then we'll be putting on the escape pod hatches for that area, I believe, later in the step. So we'll put it on both ends here for now. Put it in nice and tight. Just like that. And then next we will be taking these screw covers, which is this triangular piece that's going to go on the ends right here. Just like that. So as you can see, we now have these screw covers in place on these two, on the ends there. Then next, what we're going to do is we are going to add the the transporter emitter pad. There's 2 of them. It's going to be sitting right there on either end of where the main post for the model is going to go. But in order to do that, we need to get our adhesive backing that's included in this stage, and then we'll stick that onto the pad itself. Then basically we're just going to stick that right over the screw hole, just like that. And then we will be doing the same thing for the other end, or the other side as well, just like that. So as you can see, we now have the transporter emitter pads stuck onto the battle section deck panel. And then next what we're going to do is we are going to attach the escape pod screw covers, which is going to be these escape pod covers. Now the difference between this escape pod covers and the normal ones that we've been attaching is that this piece is curved. I think this one is the normal that we've been normally using. It's gonna do that. This piece of the escape pod usually goes underneath the deck from the underside of the deck panel, and then I think some of the screw covers for the sauce section were just flat, straight piece, but these are curved for the curvature of the battle section. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get those screw covers installed. So we'll be right back. So as you can see, we now got all the escape pod hatch screw covers all installed. So this part of the battle section is now completed. So that is it for stage 103. In stage 104, we'll be working on the last piece of the battle section and attaching this big panel here as well. So let's get started. So as you can see, we have our battle section piece, or the drive section here. So first off, we'll be working on the lights for the very end of the ship here. So first off, what we'll be doing is once we got our little lights, navigation nav lights here, I'll be putting it in sideways, or putting it in a sideways position, and then we'll be getting our green nav light here, and then putting that right through the hole, and then getting our light right through in between. There's a slot where the light will go. So the green navigation light's gonna be on the left side here, or the port side, and then the starboard side, which is the right side on the model. If you can see right here, this side is going to be red, so this side is green. The port side is green, so we'll be working on the port side here. Just like that. It's a little bit hard to see, but we now have the navigation light lens installed on both the port and starboard side, which is red and green. So next, what we're going to do is we will be attaching the switch, which is this one, right onto this deck panel. So we zoom out to see better. This is our deck panel piece right here. Be attaching the switch right in this little square rectangular area. So let's get that done. Just like that, and then we will be attaching the switch bracket, which is this plastic piece right here. And then we will be securing that switch to the panel with 2 BP screws. So let's get the switch screwed in. So now that we got the switch screwed in, next we will be screwing in the battery box as well. So we'll get that one seated. Just like that. Then we will be securing that into place with 2 BP screws as well. So let's get the battery box screwed in. So as you can see, we have our battery box screwed in. So once that is done, we will now be working on the phaser strip, which is going to go into this oval area on the back end of the drive section. Okay, so for the phaser strip, there are 2 pieces. One side is a smooth end, and then the other side has a little bit of lines or detailing. So the detailing side is going to be on top, and then the smooth side on the bottom. However, they aren't labeled, but basically there's a little a notch that you can see on top that should line up. So if it doesn't line up, it means you have the incorrect sides for it. So, but before we get this put together, we need to put a spring in between the 2 phaser strip pieces. So we'll be adding the spring right on top of that little plastic stud right there. And we will then sit the other end right on top if the springs don't fall off. And then we will be putting that right here in that hole. So as you can see, we have the starboard side of the phaser strip done. So next we'll be working on the port side. Again, we'll be repeating the same thing. So once the phaser strip are in, we'll be setting this deck panel right over it, assuming we don't crush any of the cables for the switch and the battery pack. So once it is seated in, we will be securing it into place with 13 BP screws, 2 AM screws, and 2 BM screws. So let's start with the BP screws. So we'll get the all the screws installed. So we'll be right back. So as you can see, we now have all of the screws installed. So the 2 AM screw will go right next to the on either side of the magnet here, and then the 2 BM screw is going to go on the either side of the main battery compartment there. But yeah, overall, it's looking at the drive section or the bow section is looking really nice. We got the phaser there, nav lights, and then if we think if we turn it on, you should be able to see. If we turn off the overhead lights, a little bit hard to see, but you can see the nav lights are working, and the other lights are working as well. So that is it for stage 104. In stage 105, we will be working on the last piece of the skeletal frame for the underside of the soft section. So it's working on the associated wiring for the lights, and then working on attaching some screw cover panels onto the bow section. So let's get started. So first off, we'll be putting the wirings for the each of the lights 90 degrees or perpendicular 90 degrees to the light bulb, as we've done in the some of the other stages as well. So basically, we're gonna slowly move the connectors for the lighting so that it is so the light bulb will be flat, as that's how it'll be sitting onto this skeletal frame. And the brackets like this one right here, it's going to sit right there, then attached with another plastic bracket to secure it in place, and like that. So we'll go ahead and get all the lightings bent into its proper place. So just like that, as you can see, we now have all the light bulbs in the proper place that we can attach it to the skeletal frame. So next, we will be attaching that to the skeletal frame using these plastic brackets to secure it in place. So let's go ahead and get that one going. So first off, we'll be taking the yellow and green lighting cable and putting that onto this holder right here for the light. If we zoom in, we can see better. Just like that, and then we'll be securing that with the bracket. So just like that, we have the. So as you can see, we now have the lightings all installed to the skeletal frame. So next, we will attach this frame onto the saucer section. So as you can see, we have the saucer section here. So we will be installing the skeletal frame. So we'll be seated in just like that. And then we will need to get our 3 of the lighting cables connected to the board. So we'll go ahead and get those connected now. So as you can see, we have all the lighting cables connected to the PCB board. So next we'll be securing screwing the skeletal frame into place with 8 BM screw, 2 FM screws, and 1 jam screw. So let's get started with the 8 BM screws. So next we'll screw in 2 FM screws, which will be 2 down here at the bottom. Lastly, we'll put in one JM screw, which will be attaching the two skull frame that's next to each other. So as you can see, we have our last skeletal frame now in place. So next we'll be moving on to the battle section. So here in the battle section, we'll be adding some of the additional screw covers, like these pieces here as well. So let's do the corner piece here. Basically, they'll just snap into place. Then next we'll take the additional L pieces, which basically will go right here at the end. And then next we need to attach these transport emitters. So again, if you can separate it, so we need to put the adhesive backing onto it, and then stick those right here in this rectangular space over the screws. So let's get that done. Then we will stick the emitter pads just right onto there. And then next we will get our battle section neck here, and then we're gonna attach that to the right here onto the rest of the battle section. This is supposed to be easily removable and reattach. So basically, you just sit it in and then slide it back. Let's see if this works. It's a little bit tough to slide through. I think we may need to slide through a bit more to the back, but yeah, basically you drop it in and then slide it to the back. It's not as simple as it looks. Maybe it's a little bit, I think maybe the frame, the bracket frame on the bottom is a little tight, but I think due to the weight, I guess it's supposed to be. But that is it for stage 105. In stage 106, we'll be working on another piece of the deck panel and adding additional screw caps or screw covers onto the battle section to get that completed. So let's get started. So as you can see here, we have the metal deck panel piece. So we'll be installing the escape pod hatches first, and then adding the brackets for it. So let's get that done. So as you can see, we have added the escape pod hatches. So next we'll be installing the brackets for it. So the one bracket's gonna go right up there, and then the smaller bracket's gonna go up to the last escape pod hatch piece right there. Then we will be securing both of those brackets into place with AM screw. And then next we will be working on the windows. So we'll get the window pieces installed. So we'll be right back. So as you can see, we now have the window pieces all installed. So next we'll be installing the reflector panel. So the rectangular oval looking panel, the reflector is going to go on the long area there. And then the smaller one is going to obviously go into the smaller piece space, just like that. And then we will be securing those reflectors into place with AM screws. So 2 AM screws for the long one, 1 AM screw for the smaller one. So let's get that screwed in. Just like that. So as you can see, we now have the escape pod hatches and windows all added to the panel. So next we'll be adding our ventral phaser array right here. It only goes in one direction. And then from the back side, we'll be securing that into place with 2 DP screws. So let's screw it in just like that. So as you can see, we now have the ventral phaser array installed onto the panel. So we'll be not using this panel until the next pack. So I'll set this aside and then bring over the battle section. So as you can see here in the rear part of the battle section, we'll be attaching some additional screw covers. So we'll be attaching like these screw cover pieces right onto here. So let's get that all put into position. It'll basically just snap right in. Then we got some additional pieces here on the side. Just like that. And then next, what we're going to do is we are going to add magnets to these two screw, on top of these two screw holes. Well, basically, it'll hold the cover into place to hide the battery compartment. And then we just add the last panel, will magnetically attach, just like that. And then we are, other than the warp nacelle, we are done with the main structure for the battle section, or for the drive section. So we zoom out here, I'll look kind of like that, pretty large. So yeah, looks very nice. So that is it for stage 106 and for pack 27. So as you can see here, in pack 27, we basically install the last panel right here near the impulse engine, and then install the skeletal frame, as well as finished up at least the main portion of the battle section. So attach the rest of the drive section, snapped that into place, and then worked on the rear side of it here, install all the screws, the panel, and everything. So it is looking really nice, also very large as well. So I think in future packs we'll be finishing up the exhaust section and adding the warp nacelles. I think we still have the other warp nacelle, one more warp nacelle to build. That'll probably be in the future pack. But anyways, hope you are enjoying the video on the U.S.S Enterprise D series from DeAgostini, Japan. So far the model is looking really nice. Just a basic build. We're not making like additional like super modifications like some of the other builders are, but yeah, for a basic build, still pretty nice, and a really decent sized model. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.